Can you hear me, Joanna?
I can hear you.
I
Okay.
can hear you too. We are back podcasting. Woohoo!
So this podcast is about Hyrox, Hyrox racing, fitness, Hyrox fitness racing.
It is indeed, and it's for anyone really who thinks about doing a Hyrox because we are completely beginners. We find out about the Hyrox around 3 months ago.
Probably, yeah.
Remember this time when I came to you and I said, "Look at this race! It's so amazing!" And you've been like,
Yeah.
"What?
It was
What did you think?"
it was in the morning. The first thing in the morning, I woke up and was like, I need to show you something. Look what I found. And
This video, this video. Have a look, have a look.
and you said like you couldn't wait. Like it was the whole night you had to wait to show me because I was asleep already when you found it. So you showed me this video of the Hyrox and I was just hooked. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It's everything I kind of like fitness wise. It was in the one race and it looked very exciting. The music was pumping, the people were sweating, pushing the limits. It's just like, wow, this is something we need to do. So I was straight away in.
So once I've got Joanna hooked, then we spread the word around in our club and a couple of people signed up with us and we trained for 3 months. And then just recently, was it a week ago, we went to Birmingham to compete in our first Hyrox.
Yeah.
And this was something else.
Right, but let's talk what this Hyrox is about.
Hyrox. Well, it's hard to describe because you might think, if I start describing to someone might think this is just another CrossFit competition, but it's not really CrossFit because CrossFit throws at you everything and you've got a lot of exercises which are sometimes for some people impossible to do. So for example, I never joined CrossFit competition because I could not handstand. I could not walk on the handstands, and this is one of the things. And I'm not very good at barbell work, overhead snatches and those things. So I was always like, even though I've been doing fitness all my life, I felt like it's a little bit too much for me. But the Hyrox, on the other hand, it's completely different beast because it's running. You run and then you do some exercises, and all the exercises are super easy to learn. You can go now, anyone can go and you will be able to do all of those. Maybe not as fast, maybe not the same wave, but you will be able to do it.
So let's go from the very beginning. So it's 8 times running, 1 kilometer of run, followed by functional exercise. So
Yeah.
you run 8 times and you do functional exercise 8 times.
So I don't remember from the top of my head how it goes, but it starts with the run. So you've got 1K run. You go. It's the one we did. It was 2 loops around the arena in Birmingham, and then after that you go to your first place for exercise, first functional exercise, and this was I remember that it was ski erg. So you go for 1K, and after that you've got another one.
You've got another run. So every time you finish your functional workout, you go for a run. So the next one was the sled push. Yeah, and the sled push is 50 meters in total, 2.5 meters one way, and then you go other way 4 times in total.
12 and a half.
12.5. And for the girls, it's 75 kilograms, and for the men is
Too much.
125.
125, and there is a pro category as well, which we're not gonna talk about because it's for knobs like us.
So right, you finish the pushing the sled. What's next?
Of course, you go for a run.
You go for a run again. So you know.
And at this time, you might take off your t-shirt. Most people run without t-shirts. We didn't get to this. I think this is for the second
competition.
Second competition where the t-shirts goes off. But so yeah, you run around another K, and then after that, you've got what?
Sled push.
Pull.
Sorry, pull.
So you've got the sled pull, which again you're just pulling the sled.
And it's again 50 meters, the same as with the push. 12.5 meters one way and other way.
4 times.
So you pull, you run to the other side, and you pull again 4 times. For ladies, it's 50 kilograms, and for men, it's 75 kilos.
And again, after that, you go for a run.
Yay!
You come back from the run, and what we've got next?
It's the favorite station, I
Oh,
think.
is it the burpees?
Broad jump burpees.
Oh, this one, I need to admit, almost killed me because 80 meters of broadband jerpies, it's far. It's like you look and it's like, I cannot believe it. It's going to be there and back. After like 10 jumps, I was done. I stood up there, I was standing and I was thinking, I'm not going to do it, but I did it
Yeah.
somehow.
But once you finish the burpees, you are halfway. So that's the good news.
So
And
you come back from the burpees, and what you do, obviously, you run again.
and then when you come back from the run, it's a rowing station. So
So
you row for 1K.
rowing, indoor rowing, is quite simple. This was quite easy because you're sitting. And
It was
then,
actually nice to sit for a change.
and after that, what you've got the run, obviously, and then you've got another one, which is, I don't
Farmer
remember.
carry.
This is farmer carry. So you just take 2 kettlebells in your hands and you go for a little walk.
So for the girls it's 16 kilograms, and for the guys it's 224s. Yeah.
Again, after that, this wasn't that bad. After that, you go and you run again, and you've got another one which I really don't like. Another one is the lunges with the heavy back on your back.
So walking lunges, and it's 100 meters of those.
And again, girls are going lighter for some reason.
Yeah, and you go for a run again. And
After that,
and this is your last run, and your last station is the wall balls.
this is where you killed last time. You went so fast.
Yeah, I actually don't mind those wall balls. I mean, I did them on the very, very beginning when we started training. I did them non-stop, and I knew, on the race that was the last station that I can do it as well.
So you did it, we did, and then you go into the finish line. You high five the guy who's standing there, and you're kind of, that's
Yeah,
it. That's you done.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's.
So it's, as you see, it's super simple. And then the good thing is about the Hyrox is that it's always the same order, so you can train. For example, me knowing that my weakness are burpees and lunges, that's what I'm gonna do. This is because the next Hyrox we do is in London in November, isn't it? So I exactly know what to do. So I basically do a lot of burpees. I do a lot of lunges. On the top of the other training, I always do strength and endurance, other things. But those are 2 things which I'm focusing on.
Yeah.
What's for you?
So for me, the burpees, I struggle as well with the burpees. I had to stop a few times. So that's gonna be definitely the one I will be practicing on. The sled pull was also harder than what we practice. The rope is quite elastic, so it felt different, and also the rope they had was longer than ours. So I think those 2 things made it a little bit trickier. But there's still a few weeks to practice, so I'm gonna kick in with this. And burpees, that will be another one. And the running, I guess, because 50% of this race, it's running. So
50% of the whole race, yeah, it's running. So you run 8K. I check some guys, they do like 3 hours, 3 minutes 30 per kilometer, around 4. I was going 5, which is slow.
yeah, I went 5.5 up to 6, depending. After some stations, I was tired, so you could see after the sled push, I was more tired, so I was going slower. And after the burpees, I was going slower. But after the stations, I didn't mind. I went faster.
I think there's a little bit of specialization in this one, because our background for last couple of years, we've been doing Ironmans, like long distance endurance things, where you run marathon and you cycle 180K, and then suddenly you're jumping into something much shorter. So it's like an endurance with a lot of strength involved. So, and it feels like sprinting. For me, I that's why I like it, because I remember me playing handball years ago. And this is something like this, it takes an hour if you are good. It took me 1 hour 29, and my goal is to get at least 2 hour 10. And it feels good. And then at the end, that's the most important thing, that after a long endurance race, you're feeling completely exhausted. But remember, you feel like flat for a couple of weeks even, where after Hyrox on the second day, I felt like strong, because you did so much strength exercises that you are like, yeah, I'm ready to do the another one.
Well, I wasn't ready because I pushed myself so much. when I looked at my heart rate zones on the app from my watch, I was in the zone 5 for most of it,
All the time.
and I really pushed myself. I just went for it, and I mean, I didn't push myself to the stage I was dying. I just like to feel slightly out of my comfort zone, but that's what I did for the whole race. So. So I pushed myself, and then I was ill.
But you're getting better, and
Yeah,
then
I'm better
we
now
are getting
after
ready
the week.
for. So why do you think someone should try Hyrox?
To push the limits. This is what I did. I wanted to challenge myself and see what my body is capable to do, and how much I can push myself.
And I think it's something. It's nice because it's within reach of any of you, really. Like probably if I were to start again, it would be nice to do this in the couples. So you would do like a team effort, which is much easier because you do only half of the exercises. This would be, I would suggest doing this for someone who never done this before, and then you can go into singles. But it's something, as I said, exercises are quite simple. It's not that far running, and everyone can run 1K, and it gives you great way of seeing how you improve, because in fitness you have to have those goals. I always like every time when someone comes to me with some fitness goal and they don't have a goals, people want to get fitter. I want to get fitter, I want to lose some weight, and I'm always asking them, what's the goal? And they're like, no, its goal is just to get fitter. And for me it works, but it works much better if you get hooked on something else. Some external goal, like Hyrox, for example, and then suddenly you do things a little bit better every time, because you know that at some point you will have to go on the stage and you have to perform, and this kind of pushes you and motivates you more.
And I think the more scary event for you, that's better because motivates you more. Like for us, when we sign up, it was like, oh yeah, let's do it. And then we did, I think, the first training, and we nearly died like 5 times.
And it was like, oh
So
shit.
that was a wake up call, right? We need to train for this because we cannot just go and do it. So
Exactly.
that was amazing. And then from the 3 months before, we started training, and we had a training session every Saturday, which was Hyrox specific, and then we did a couple of strength training sessions per week, and maybe a shorter Hyrox specific again
Yes.
session.
So obviously, for the first event, we tried. So we put things together like from the Ironman. We knew how to do endurance, and we also know how to train strength. And now we're kind of learning how to put those things together. And we managed to. How many people came with
It was
us?
5.
Was it Ross,
Lucy,
Lucy,
Celia,
Celia? Well, Barbara as well. She wasn't.
Barbara,
She wasn't with us. She was in
New York.
New York, and there was also Mesh and Grant who couldn't make it this time, but they trained, and I think they could finish easily as well. So there was a couple of people. I think the way we do it, we can prepare anyone to do this event. You need to have like probably 3 months. So now the next one, which we are getting the group together, is Glasgow. Glasgow in
11th, 10th February, something like that.
in February. So it's a perfect couple of months to get ready to train. If you want to do this with us, just give us a call. We are at Fitness Soul, and we meet every Saturday
Yeah.
morning. Yes, right.
So that's briefly what the Hyrox is about, and how we train and how did it go for us. So now we cannot wait for the next one. Yeah,
Yes.
the training comes first, so we're gonna train a few times per week and then see how much we can improve in 4 weeks' time.
Yeah, and then in the next episode, we'll try to explain how we actually work. So what we actually gonna do in next 4 weeks to get us in the best shape for London. I hope this will share a little bit of light. Well, we'll tell you what we think we should be doing, and we'll tell you also what we do, because it doesn't match at this moment, but we try to bring the gap together and do exactly what we need to do. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.